tech house groove. To start off, choose a kick drum that has a nice transient to it and also a short tail. This will allow room for the bass to come through at the end of the kick there. Next, you can find the key of your kick drum, and we're going to use the key information to EQ the kick. I recommend finding a notes to frequency chart online, and you can use the key information of your kick drum to find out the first and the second fundamental frequency. If you don't have the key of the kick drum, you can use a program like Mixed in Key and analyze the sample to find out the key. On my EQ here, I'm using, first of all, a low shelf, and just using that to just kind of roll off everything below 30. My kick drum is in the key of A flat, and the first fundamental frequency of A flat is 51.91. Second fundamental is 103.83. So I'm boosting at the first fundamental frequency. And to allow some space for the kick here, I'm cutting at the second fundamental frequency, just using a narrow Q. And when we get to the bass here, we're going to do the reverse EQing on the bass, so that both the kick and the bass will have their own place in the mix. I've also created a second kick drum layer here, just kind of a little bit of a click. You can layer your kick drum with something like a tom, the transient of another kick, or a click layer like I have here. And it came from a longer sample that I've shortened down, and then I've just adjusted the fade a little bit there to fade off the ends. When you play them together, that's what they sound like. So that layer just gives the kick a little bit more character. Let's move on to the rolling bass. To make the bass sound, you can use a plugin like Serum, or if you're using Ableton, you can use Ableton's operator. This is a really simple sound. I just have one oscillator on here, and I'm using a saw wave, and then I have the filter on. I'm cutting off everything that's above 300, and there's a little bit of resonance added. For the actual pattern here, I recommend making a pattern that's between 1 and 4 bars, and you can listen to some tech house references to find out some rhythms for your bass line that you would like there. So that's what the pattern sounds like there. I want to give it some more movement, so I'm going to go into the clip envelope, which is here, and then go MIDI control and pitch bends, and create some pitch bends on the sound here. Let's do something like this. I'm going to bring this up to around 2000. There we go, and then bend this a little bit here. You can see what that sounds like. So once you have something that you're pretty happy with there, just copy that over. Okay, sounds good. So there's our groove so far. And then to finish off, I'm using some processing here. I'm using FabFilter Saturn, and I have some gentle saturation, just driving this up a bit here. Next is an EQ. Once again, I'm rolling off below 30 here, and this is the reverse technique used on the kick here. So I've made a cut at the first fundamental frequency of A flat, and then a boost at the second fundamental frequency. You can see there's really a lot of energy coming through in the bass there. And we can hear both the kick and the bass together well. Next, I've added kickstart 2 just for a bit of side chaining. And I'm just making sure to roll off the transient of the bass to leave some extra space for the transient of the kick to come through, just to make sure the bass and the kick really gel well together. And then lastly, I might add something like Simplon a filter. You can use the filter inside your DAW as well. And then just roll off everything maybe that is above 300 or so. You can play around with the frequency. Let's go ahead and listen to the entire groove here.